Visual Basic has a select case statement, which is similar to a switch statement in C++. It allows you to implement multi-way selection. There's quite a bit of syntax to this statement, and it does differ from the syntax that you see in C++, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that syntax here. It starts off with reserved words select case. You'll see an end select at the end, and then you can put an expression here that's going to be tested. So for each possible value of this expression, you're going to have a case label. So the reserved word case again, followed by one of the possible values the test expression can be. You can have as many of these case labels as you want, and at the end you can have a case else, which is similar to a default in a switch statement. So if none of the case labels matches, it'll come into the else and it'll execute this. Case else is optional. You can have it, but you don't have to. So here you can see one example, select case. Here it's taking the information from this text box, converting it to an integer. So each of these case labels here has an integer, right? So if the user entered 1, it would say day 1 is Monday. If they enter 2 in the text box, it'll say day 2 is Tuesday. And if they don't enter any of these valid case labels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it'll come down here and it'll say the value is invalid. Right? So how they work is when it tests the expression, you know, if it's this value, it'll do this operation and it'll just move on. Right? So here, if the user entered 3 in the text box, it would come to case 3, it'll say day 3 is Wednesday, and then it'll leave the select case statement. You can have multiple expressions in these case labels here, so you'll see here select case int number, and this is the syntax if you have more than one. So case 1, comma 3, comma 5, comma 7, comma 9. Any of these are true, it'll come into here. If any of these are true, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, right, it'll be even, else, out of range. So if the user enters 7, for instance, it'll find the 7 in this case, and it'll assign this string variable string status to odd, and then it'll leave the case statement, select case statement. Unlike C++, in a select case statement, you can use relational operators, and we use the is keyword when we're working with relational operators. So here you can see variable double temperature, and this shows a range of values. Case is, this is a reserved word, less than or equal to 75. So if double temperature is less than or equal to 75, this Boolean variable too cold will be set to true. Case is greater than or equal to 100. So if double temperature is greater than or equal to 100, it'll be set to false. Otherwise, Boolean just right will be set to true. So this allows you to specify a range of values. And just there is additional syntax here you'll see to work with a range of values. So here we've already seen this syntax, is greater than or equal to 90. Right? So if we have an integer score, if it's greater than or equal to 90, string grade will be assigned the value of A. But then in these case labels, you'll actually see a range, 80 to 89, 70 to 79, 60 to 69, and 0 to 59, and they have a case else at the end. So there's a lot of different ways to write a select case statement, so you kind of have to be familiar with that syntax.